Want to know why Black Americans still don't trust the police?
This was a traffic stop, and then he's punched in the face at least twice during the course of this video. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office telling us that McNeil was pulled over for not having his headlights on while it was raining. McNeil refusing to get out of the car when told to by police officers.
William McNeil Jr. I would just like to apologize completely from all the white people out here that think that that was total fucking bullshit.
If you are watching this video right now, it is because the world is finally waking up to the truth that black people have known for generations, a truth that was ignored, denied, and dismissed. But now, even white America is being forced to face the brutal reality black people have lived through every day.
Millions of people have seen a clip recorded by William McNeil Jr. of Florida being struck in the face by Jacksonville police officer D. Bowers during a traffic stop earlier this year. This has prompted an excessive use of force investigation. On Sunday, 22-year-old McNeil Jr. posted this video showing what happened when he was pulled over back on February 19th. In response, on Monday, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office held a press conference and shared body cam video. We see Officer D. Bowers ask why McNeil opened his door.
The reason why you're popping the door open like that?
I don't have a window that works. Is there a reason that you're pulling me over?
Yeah, absolutely there's a reason why I'm pulling you over. For one thing, inclement weather, you don't have your lights on. Two things, you're not wearing your seatbelt.
It's daylight. I don't need the lights. And it's not weather. It's not raining.
Oh, this is inclement?
It's not raining.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you why I'm pulling you over. Give me your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance.
No, call your supervisor. Why?
Excuse me?
Call your supervisor. Why did you pull me over?
2735. I'm proper driver. I've already told you.
Why did you pull me over?
Step out of the vehicle.
No.
Step out of the vehicle.
Bowers then asks for license and registration, to which McNeil replied, "No, call your supervisor," then closes his door. Bowers then calls for backup, which arrives quickly, and he instructs McNeil several times to open the door or he would break the window to remove him. Now this is where McNeil's video from inside the car begins. We see him asking the backup officer, who is unidentified, what law he's breaking, and he requests once again to speak with a supervisor. He writes in his post, quote, "Things escalated quickly, as you can see."
Can you call your supervisor?
All right, go for it.
Bowers can then be seen shattering McNeil's window, striking him in the face as he tells him to exit the vehicle. McNeil raises his hand, says, "What is your reason, sir?" as he is forcibly removed. Bowers' body cam shows officers removing the seatbelt, forcing McNeil to the ground, and one using both hands on his head into the pavement. McNeil says he suffered a concussion, chipped tooth, and several lip stitches. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office denies any wrongdoing, but says it is investigating this incident. Officer Bowers has been stripped of his duty as the investigation proceeds.
Grand rising kings and queens from Africa and across the ocean, welcome back to my YouTube space. I want to begin my message with love, strength, and truth. Now, thank you so much for clicking on this video, for choosing truth over comfort, and for standing with the generation that refuses to say or to stay silent. Now, because today something is happening that many never expected. Something has happened, and white America is finally reacting, finally watching, finally understanding. I don't know if they are really understanding, but we will just say, because they are out here making video, they are understanding what black people have been going through for centuries. It didn't start yesterday, or it did not start with George Floyd, or it did not start with this viral video. The pain, the struggle, this war on the existence of black people has been happening for generations. But finally, people are seeing it. And these generations, they're coming out. The story or the video we have just watched is from William McNeil Jr., a 22-year-old black man in Jacksonville, Florida. On February 19th, 2025, he was pulled over by police. The reason was that there's no headlights in daylight. A seatbelt accusation that turned out to be false. He sat in the car, calm, without being violent. He asked to see the supervisor, or he asked to see the law. He requested to see the supervisor. He exercised his rights, according to me. And you know what happened is, Officers shattered his window. They yelled, they punched him on face, pulled him out, stamped him on the ground, all while he was just buckled up, not resisting. Okay? That moment was caught on video. And that video exploded across internet. Okay? White people are reacting. White people are asking questions too. White people are saying that we had no idea it was this bad. I want you to watch these clips and then we continue.
Want to know why black Americans still don't trust the police? Here's a great example. This is William McNeil Jr., pulled over in the daytime because his headlights weren't on in possibly inclement weather. He was calm, compliant. He even put his hands in the air. He asked why he was being stopped. He asked for a supervisor. He showed no threat to anyone whatsoever. He never resisted. Then, all of a sudden, they smashed his window. He didn't fight back. Still, he didn't run. He didn't resist. And then an officer who was not supposed to be above the law, what did he do? He threw a punk-ass punch. There was no reason for that punch. Then, sadly, 3 officers dragged him out and beat him while he was still, once again, not resisting. Look at that knockout punch. Watch it carefully. All that for headlights in the daytime. No resistance. And yes, he had every right to ask for a supervisor. We all do. And don't tell me this isn't about race, because it is. Had he been white, like me, do you honestly think that would have happened to him? You know the answer. Let's not fool each other. It wouldn't have. This is why black Americans don't trust the police. It's not paranoia. It's what they have to live through. William McNeil got fists for using his voice to ensure his rights were protected. And what happened to the officers? Were they arrested? Were they charged? Nope and nope. Administrative leave, a paid Netflix marathon vacation for beating a man on camera. That's not justice, and justice isn't for just us. It's supposed to be for all of us. We're all supposed to have the same rights. But only one group keeps getting reminded that their rights end the moment a cop gets annoyed or his fragile ego or God complex is injured or questioned. Wusses with a badge. These pathetic excuses for cops need to be removed from the force, charged with assault, and jailed like the criminals they are for betraying public safety and the image of good, honest, hard-working cops who do follow the rules. Call this what it is: racism, protection, and unacceptable for this country. Thank you very much. Please like, comment, share, and follow, and have a great day.
William McNeil Jr. I would just like to apologize completely from all the white people out here that think that that was total fucking bullshit. And I don't care if I just cussed the first 30 seconds of this. That should be the least of anybody's concern. How are you going to actively hold somebody's hands behind their back, then hit them with a straight uppercut? Along with that, how are you going to put your hands on his face in general when he was not being aggressive at all and was literally just letting you ragdoll him around? To anybody that thinks that anything like that is okay, I firmly invite you to Florida to come fade me. And to every one of those cops out there that thinks that that was a proper use of force, I'm sorry it's been 6 years since you've seen your cock, but that's not my problem. If nobody knows what I'm talking about, I'm going to put a hashtag down in the bio so that you guys can go see the absolute bullshit that law enforcement thinks that they can take. I firmly believe in justice, and I firmly believe in people having a freedom of speech, and I firmly believe in having law enforcement as a presence of protection, but that was not protection. That was straight harassment and bullying. And if there's one thing in this world that I absolutely cannot stand, it's a fucking bully. So TikTok might take this down, it's fine. I'm going to save it before. That way I can repost it until it gets the correct traction, because if this has not been dissolved, then it needs to be immediately, and there should be no question that every law enforcement officer in that interaction deserves to be fired and arrested for abuse of authority, assault and battery, domestic violence, and a hate crime, because I firmly believe that was a targeted incident.
They smashed his window and then punched him in the face. Smashed his window and then punched him more than once in the face and then ripped him out of the car. Because why? Because he wanted to speak to a supervisor. He calmly asked to speak to a supervisor after being pulled over for unknown reasons to him and later being told that he didn't have his headlights on during bad weather. Got it. So the next time I hear any of you say, why don't they just comply? Why don't they just listen to the officers? He was. He did. And who cares if he didn't? They're clearly the criminals here, not him.
Have you guys seen the video of the guy that was arrested and they broke his window and they punched him in the face? I've seen both sides, so don't come for me that there's another side, because there is not. He told him he was picking him up for his headlights not being on during the day. You could see clearly. He said that it was raining and he didn't have his seatbelt on. That's what we're pulling over people for. That's what we're breaking windows for. That's what we're punching people for. That's what we're arresting 22-year-old guys for, because they didn't put their headlights on. They didn't have their windshield wipers on. Their seatbelt wasn't on. Are you serious? You guys know why he was arrested. We all know. And then the fact that he resisted, of course he did. They pulled him over for no reason whatsoever. And I'm sorry, I would have asked for a supervisor. I would have been like, absolutely not. And I probably would have gotten away with it. I wouldn't have gotten punched in the face. And I know that, and so do you.
Quick update about the video that I just posted about William McNeil Jr. from Florida being brutalized by the police officers. So, article just came out. No criminality was found. Did y'all watch the same video that I did? Because that was absolutely horrendous, outrageous. I don't care what kind of excuses or BS they're going to pull and try to say it was justified in any kind of way. It just wasn't. It was cruel, it was brutal, and it was not okay. Absolutely disgusting behavior. This is why we say defund the police. This is why there are so many people who protest against the police because of brutality like this, and it is consistently against minorities, and it is a real problem in this country that needs to be addressed. And the sooner we do that, the faster this country can turn around. It's one of the biggest problems in our society today, in my opinion.
Anthony McNeil, Jacksonville, Florida. Anthony McNeil, Jacksonville, Florida. It looked bad from his perspective, didn't it, guys? It did. That little cell phone clip that he edited, or however that got posted and went viral to all of us, that looked bad. It looked like the same old corrupt police doing the same old business. But that was not the case when that body cam footage came out. And I commend that sheriff for getting that stuff out within 24 hours. I mean, it was boom. Because it does justify what we saw. The only thing that is still a little questionable is after he broke that window, why did he administer that strike to the face? Now that we don't know, but they are saying something about a knife or something that he might have been reaching for. But what I can tell you is whenever that officer administered that strike to the face, he gained compliance that fast. The guy was resisting the whole time simply because he had a suspended driver's license and he was scared. That's number one. That was the whole ticket to everything. Well, I got a suspended license. If I act a certain way, maybe this officer will get Maybe I can bluff him or intimidate him, and whatever the case may be. I don't know what goes through people's heads whenever they do that. But as soon as he administered that strike to the face, his hands came up. Yeah, they still had to pull him out of the car. And when he got out of the car, he was still resisting. He said, I'm not getting on the ground. I'm not doing this, that, and the third. You have to comply with lawful orders, guys. You have to comply. If it's lawful. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye.
I understand some people see this as racial profiling. I understand some people see it because of the color of the skin. But my point is, regardless of whether the guy is black, white, Asian, doesn't really matter. Those cops had no right to treat that guy like they did. You know what I mean? You break the window, you punch the guy immediately, then tell him to get out. Why not just tell him to get out and then give him chances to get out? He was asking questions. He wasn't even refusing. He was asking questions. Why are you pulling me out? Why this? Why that? He has the right to ask what is going on. And you're telling me that you don't have the patience? If you don't have the patience, you should not be a cop. One of the main things they teach at the academy is to de-escalate. If you don't have the patience, then you should be a cop. That's plain and simple. You need to learn how to de-escalate. So if tensions are high, bring it down. Don't escalate it. Don't let it go far where you have to act the way you act and do something you stupid like that. But regardless, what do you guys think is the reason the cops acted this way? Is it because of the color of his skin? And also, what should happen to the cop? Please leave me a comment below.
Welcome back. Now, the clip that you have just watched is from white people reacting on this. And I'll say this, that was so much painful. Family, it was painful for me here from Africa watching that video. He's only 22 years old. And maybe you have been having or we have been hearing history about police brutality. But seeing it in real time, it is too bad. Black people always knew this. Black people grew up knowing, and they warned, and they cried, and they protested, from Rodney King to Sandra Bland, from Eric Garner to Taylor, from George Floyd to Tyre Nicholas. This isn't new to us. It is only new to the ones who choose not to look. They thought that we were exaggerating. They thought that black Americans are just being more of it. They thought that black Americans are playing victim, and they told them just comply. They told them that police treat everyone the same. But now they are seeing for themselves the brutality, the inhumanity, the system that was never designed to protect black people. This is it. When it happened for George Floyd, I was not old enough to know the history or talk about this, or I wasn't ready for these discussions. Now I'm ready for this discussion, and I'm seeing what is happening. This was so sad. I've played you videos of white people reacting. They are speaking out, and the system is nervous, because when white people, or when their own comes out and talk about this, it is becoming nervous. And even I've seen the sheriff trying to gaslight black people. The sheriff is trying to say the police did not do something bad. And you saw it from the camera, from both angles. The body cam of the police and the camera that was coming from inside. Now, let me tell you where is the shift. More white Americans are standing up and saying enough is enough. We need to accept that. It's not all time we will call out, but if they are standing, because we said this, if you are for black people, then don't center yourself. Come out. Talk about it. Support. Many white people are coming out and talking about this. We got white mothers crying. I've seen videos. Now, there's a video of play about white police officer talking about this. And even white teachers, white pastors, and veterans are coming out and talking about this. Black people have been right all along. And now the system, the one that profited off the silence, is shaking, because they ain't silence anymore. Because when the oppressed speak, they have ignored. But when the privileged ones that share the same thing, when they come out and echo the same truth that oppressed echoes, the system start panicking. And family, this is not a trend. This is a global awakening. We are watching a new era right in front of us. White allies are stepping into rooms they were once silent in. They are checking their family members speaking up at school boards, quitting jobs and fund justice or that fund injustice. They are realizing that the true humanity requires more than not being racist. It requires being anti-racist. And for the first time, they are listening to the pain of the voices of black people, not to urge, not to debate, but to understand. You see what happened there on that video. I did not expect something like that to happen at this time, but this just shows me how the white system under Donald Trump is, because someone said that Trump is representing the white supremacy. Trump is representing the racists, and you have seen that. At this time, at this era, police officer dragging black man or dragging person out of a car, a person who is not violent, punching him, smashing his window, that is a bit fishy. Now, listen carefully, my people. While it is powerful to see some white people react with empathy and actions, we must remember this. Our liberation has never depended on white. It depends on black unity, black truth, black power, and black love. Let the awakening fuel the momentum, but do not lose focus. People saying, oh, white people now are becoming good, helping us. Do not lose focus. We must keep building our communities. We must protect our children. We must teach real history. We must love ourselves radically and unapologetically. And whatever you are seeing right now, America's mask is falling. The world is watching, because the truth about America, the so-called land of free, is out. The world is watching a country that preaches democracy and freedom, yet they are doing what? Brutalizing black bodies in broad daylight. They even don't care. Countries in Africa, countries in Caribbean, in Europe are now seeing the hypocrisy openly. And what used to be a whisper in corners are now global headlines. America, where black lives are endangered, not protected. The greatest democracy can't protect its own citizens from its police. And this McNeil Jr., he is a black American. He is a citizen of America. He is a voter of America. So the mask is falling and America doesn't know what to do when its lies stop working. And we are in another era. We say it's an era of internet, era of camera. And that's the power of camera there. That's the power of camera. But the pain is real. And they say, thank God for the video. People come out, thank God for the video. If it's not the video, we could have never seen this. But I say, thank God for our ancestors who survived without videos, without phones, without the internet, and still lived to pass the truth down to us. These cameras, they are not creating that violence. They are just revealing what has always been happening. The only difference now is that the world can't unsee this one. It is on tape, on record. Something I need to say that you're not supposed to get twisted, because this is bigger than police. It's about the entire system. It's about bad system, education system that underfund black schools, medical system that ignore black pain, banking system that deny bank wealth or black wealth, or political system that steal black votes, and law enforcement system that were built to slave patrols, not on public safety. When white people react in shock, we must respond with wisdom. Yes, now you see, but we have lived in it. That is the wisdom we need to respond with it, even if they are gaslighting. What black people want right now is just respect, not just sympathy. We do not want your pity. We do not want the tears. We want the truth, justice, and respect. We want you to believe us when we say it hurts. We want you to stop calling it a few bad apple and start tearing down the rotten tree. We want a systematic change as black Americans. I don't know if I'm talking your mind. I don't know if I'm talking the mind of black Americans. You want systematic change, not surface level apologies. Black Americans' lives need to be valued, not just when they are tragically or when they end tragically, but when they are alive, need to be valued, breathing, laughing, and dreaming. For generations, black people have cried out, pleaded, marched, and bled, trying to tell the world about police brutality. But for just a Man, they never listen on this. Many white people turned away, calling it exaggeration, lie, simply ignoring it. But now something is changing, something powerful. And that's why I always say it is spiritual. The power shift is changing. In the last few years, and especially after recent viral videos like the assault we have just seen of William McNeil Jr., more and more white Americans are now waking up, and they are no longer just observers. They are reacting, they are confessing, and they are speaking out, and they are saying that we don't know it was this bad. I know you don't know it was this bad, but I think you knew it was that bad. If something doesn't happen on you personally, you won't understand until it happened to yourself. Now you are understanding, because something is telling you the empire is falling, and the privilege you are enjoying right now, it's going to end. You need to understand by force, by fire. You need to understand by force, by fire. Now, let me be clear. We do not need validation from white people to tell us our pain is real. But the fact that some are finally opening their eyes, that's not a progress. That's just accountability, catching up with the truth. So let me say about William McNeil Jr. This black man assaulted by police, he wasn't resisting, he wasn't violent, he wasn't a threat, he was just black. And that being black, it was enough for police officers to beat him. It was enough for police officer to dehumanize him, to treat his body as disposal. But this time it was caught on camera. And the people who once say that there must be more to the story are now forced to come on senses of the reality. There's no more the story. The story is white supremacy in uniform. So when you see white Americans are crying, posting and marching, some are even apologizing, it's just a shift of power, and it's getting the white supremacy to be shaken. It is getting the white supremacy to fear, because if your own are going out, what is happening next? I'll say this, my white viewers, if you are just waking up, you are so much welcome. But don't just watch, act. Don't center yourself, just follow. And to my black viewers, you are powerful, divine, and worthy. You have always told the truth, even when they didn't believe you. So just let's see how this ends. But whatever we need to do as black people, we need to be more united. Like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next episode, peace out.